Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna have me some fish, some fries, and some hush puppies. They're hush puppies. They look bad, but they're hush puppies. I put them in the oven and cooked them. I cooked everything in the oven. Cooked the french fries in the air fryer. Let me pray. Amen. Get a little water. A little water, a little water, a little water. If y'all hear a little bit of roaring, you might can't even hear it. I shouldn't even bring it to the attention. But if you do hear a little ding, that means the air fryer going off. I had a little bit more minutes on that I needed to put on it. So let me give you a little bit of lunch. Alrighty. Y'all know I love ketchup. I'm a ketchup addict. I'm a ketchup addict. I love ketchup. I love ketchup. I don't know, but I just love ketchup. I'm just a ketchup-holic. I love ketchup. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm going to tell you something about ketchup. That's just crazy. I'm going to tell singing about ketchup. Well, I'm back. I'm back. I miss you too. I sure miss y'all. I just got to do better. I told y'all I was on the hiatus. I was a little disencouraged. But I'm back. Gotta get back on I gotta get back into what I normally do. Update. Somebody one day gonna look at it and they're gonna have a whole lot of crazy videos to laugh at. A whole lot. I put mine in the oven because I want air fry. I'm still the same, really look the same. I sure won't fry them. That's for sure. I don't like stuff fried like that and all that grease. I don't. Could you imagine putting something like this little fish in the grease? And all that grease sopped up in it. I actually could have ate with my hands, really. Y'all heard it? Ding! It's done. Yep, it's done. I looked at the infomercial about a foodie ninja. And it looks pretty good. And she can do a whole lot of different stuff. I don't know. But I'm trying to act dignified. But really don't need no fault. But Georgia, who eats french fries with a fork? No, what you say? Who eats french fries with a fork? I guess you're right. Well, I got a little bit more time to talk now. I was telling y'all about the weight loss journey. I got a little bit more time to talk. Like I say, I try not, when I do sit and talk and sip and talk, I try to let those stay at a certain time, you know. Sometimes I go over 15 minutes. Sometimes I hope it's not over 20. Because it's just a little fake when I'm talking. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm eating this with my hands. I'm sorry. I started going to eat out of paper. I don't know why I didn't. Started to eat out of paper. Drink out the bottle. Yeah, I started to. Gonna pick up french fry, gonna pick up hush puppies, gonna use fork on fish. I may do like the country people do and just dip that fish. I eat it. And got the fork on his plate. But that weight loss journey was so fun. My husband thought sure he was gonna win it, or you can beat him talking. He had diarrhea of the lips. And he came out the worst. Gained 13 pounds. Only nobody gained 13 pounds. I see a whole lot of people doing weight loss challenges and stuff. And then they're doing their own personal weight loss. You know? And I'm mad because I like looking at stuff like that. I really do. I like looking at it. I like looking at it. Yep. But I ain't gonna fade that. I'm sitting there how to eat the rest of my life. No, I'm gonna share with y'all how I gained all that weight. It started like 2007. I was in an car accident. I ended up having surgery on my knee. I was down for a little while. And then they didn't know until I think it was some time later. I was experiencing a whole lot of pain. And they found out that I actually had a cracked bone in my ankle. I ended up having to have a fusion. An ankle fusion after that. So when they fused my ankle, I stayed in a cast for about I think I stayed in a cast about 4 months, somewhere up in there. And by the time I was able to get up on my feet, because I was on a roller walker, they helped me, they pushed the walker, and I was on crutches. And for a long time. And so finally when I was able to walk on my own, my feet was walking. When I walked, my feet was pushing outward. I don't know all that. Maybe it was just something because I wasn't moving around, couldn't walk. Why all at once, my foot pushing outward? I couldn't, you even see it in my shoes. I still got shoes from them now. And the shoes are pushed outward. So, I'm doing away with this, y'all. I don't need that. So anyway. So when I went back to the doctor, I told myself, for some reason my feet is, when I walk, my feet is pushing outward. And he died and he didn't even know what was going on. So I went back and forth to my doctor. He said he was gonna send me to another specialist. And come to find out, when he did my ankle fusion, he did not plant my feet straight. When he planted my feet and fused it, my foot and fused it, he fused it sideways. So I I know about 3 doctors. So I didn't want to have no more surgery. Because not long after that surgery, when I was going to physical therapy, my breathing tendon got torn. I was in surgery 6 months later. Major surgery. And he told me that like it's gonna take time to heal, and you know your body been through a whole lot. So I was like, okay. So then I started complaining to my primary care physician. He was more like, walk so I could see, you know, from the back. And he saw how I was walking. So he said I'm gonna send you to another doctor. First off, he sent me to a good specialist. He looked at me and everything, looked at his test results and everything that they had already did. He told me, he said, "No, I'm going to fix this. We got to break your foot and reconstruct your foot." I like, oh no. Oh, please don't say that. Oh no. So no. I said, I'm going to give him another opinion. So then I went to another surgeon. He was one of the best in the area that I traveled to. But he was in Virginia too. And when he saw the reports, he did his own testing. He did an MRI. He did some everything. So he seen the same thing. He said, when your foot was fused, it was fused going outward. And nothing you can do about it, because when you have surgery, you got to sign all this stuff. And you know, I guess you said it ain't perfect. So we're going to try to put orthotics in your shoes. Try to bring it up to more level. But they didn't work. Everything he tried did not work. So I ended up, he sat me down and said, Barbara, he said, what we're going to have to do is go in there, clean up everything. Because he had already seen some, you know, from the other surgeries that need to be cleaned up. He said, I'm going to have to break your ankle, reposition your bone, put hardware in to keep it in place. That's the only way. And then he looked at me and said, and I can't say that's going to be 100% that you'll be able to walk straight. He's on the time, baby Ted. He said, I'm hoping that it'll be way better than what it is now. So, I was at all. I was what in the world? I already had 3 surgeries. Knee surgery, the fusion, and the breathing tendon got torn. Now you talking about breaking my ankle, reposition my foot, and putting it back together. Okay. It's a little lot right now. I already heard it before, so. Anyway, I stayed on crutches for a long time. I stayed on crutches so long, I walked like I had them crutches with my legs. When they saw me coming to physical therapy, they ain't never seen about walk on crutches like they said they saw me walk on crutches. I stayed on so long, for years, off and on. Bedridden. Couldn't even get up and do nothing hardly by myself. Couldn't get in the shower. All my bath had been at the sink. And then my husband was smart. Stayed in the cast so long, he went and found the cast cover. And he bought some cast covers and put it on top of my cast, and I was able to get in the shower and take a shower. But I had to sit down in the shower and take a shower. He found the way. So I went on, gave up his schedule, the surgery and everything. And it took me a long time to get past the surgery. I was in the surgery maybe about 3 months. And couldn't come out the cast. Every time I go, he do an x-ray, bone still broke. Man, you, I'm way younger than I am now. And I'm long still broke. So he said, I'm bringing you back. I'm going back like every 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks or something like that. Every month almost. So I go back. I always pick purple cats because I love purple. Y'all know why. Favorite color. And he said, I'm gonna check when you come back and see, you know, it hasn't starting to heal. Went back, still won't heal. So she said, I want you, I don't know if this, I don't think the insurance company pay for it. She said, Barbara, is very expensive. And then my husband always took me because, you know, I had to get somebody to take me to the doctor. He said, I want you to get a bone stimulator. And he explained to me a bone stimulator is this little device. Got a face on it, and you wrap it around. You put it on and it's for therapy. He said, I want you to wear it. And I thought, I said, how am I wear it with the cast on? He said it stimulates through the cast. And don't even feel nothing. All I had to do was wrap around the cast with my ankle at. And they brought it to the house, taught me how to use it and everything. I had to do that therapy 2 times a day for hours, like 3 hours each time. So I started using it. I think he gave me an appointment for 6 weeks to come back to get time to work. Still working. But he said, you got to see with your insurance company. I don't think, I'm showing them not calling insurance company. And they called insurance company, did not really pay for it. So he did a pre-authorization on it and an explanation on it. And they think I know I got a phone call from the insurance company. They paid for it over $3,000. And so when I wore it, did like he said, even if I was going somewhere, if I had a doctor's appointment or anything else, and it was time for me to put it on, all I had to do was strap it right across my cast and keep on moving like nothing to it. So when I went back, he took the x-ray. He said, I got some good news. And about that time I knew some. He said, your ankle is healing up to the point it was almost, because at that time when I first started, it was healed up to the point that he said he could see the mending coming back together. But he kept me in it for 3 months. And that 3rd month, when I went for my appointment, it was totally healed. He said it healed so good you couldn't even tell the bone was ever broken. And it looked like a brand new bone, like a baby bone. I said, oh my God. So I was able to come out the cast, not right then. He still kept in the cast for my next visit, I think, just to make sure with the support, because I was on weight bearing and everything. So he put me on a shoe. And the shoe went over top of my, you know, I put the shoe on my cast so I could start bearing it. I could tap down. I couldn't put total weight on, but I could just, on my crutches, I could just touch down, you know, just touch down. Until I had got to the point that I could put my foot down. And after I put my foot down, when I went to the appointment, he took me off the crutches. I was able to come off the crutches all the way. And well, I had to keep the crutches still, because once I came out the cast all the way, he'll put me in the boot, but he kept the crutches for support, but he told me I had to use the crutches. So I started walking in the cast with a shoe. And then from there, I had a boot. I stayed in the boot salon Lowhammer. It was that ugliest thing you want to see, them old ugly gray one, like space creatures. I said, oh my God, it was ugly. But through that whole ordeal, it was really stressful. But he said, I'm hoping through the years. He said, it might not happen right now. It's going to take some time. That your foot will start walking. You know, you'll start getting more strength and stability in it. He said, but you'll never wear no more heels. You'll wear flats. Okay, thank the Lord. I still got an ankle. I still got a foot. He said, but your foot should be planted better. And sure enough, when all that was over, I was able to get on my feet and started, you know, conditioning the ankle and the straight. I stayed in physical therapy. Oh God, from all them surgeries, I know I paid over out my pocket. Because my physical therapy visits was $30 or $35 a visit. Sometimes I went 3 days a week. They wanted me to go 5 days a week, but different type therapy. I couldn't afford that. So I ended up going 3 days a week. Every time, 3 days a week. And with all those surgeries from 2007 to 2012. My last surgery was 2012. When he broke that ankle, did all that. He did it just before Christmas. And I was like, Lord, I said, I'm going to have to be in the hospital on Christmas. He said, well, Barbara, he said, you're going to have to stay in the hospital for a few days. I said, oh, Lord, I couldn't cook or do nothing no way. So if I had surgery, and when I could do, but survival was that. But being at home with your family was just so much better. You try to make it all grogged all up. And my daughter did all the cooking. So when I went through the surgery, he took me through 2 recovery rooms. And when I went through the second recovery room, I was doing good. And the nurse came and she said, Dr. Jones gonna send you home. I said, I was all grogged up. He said, yo, this is grogged up. Because I'm a hard, anesthesia is hard on me. I have a hard time coming back from it. So he said, yeah, he said, he's gonna go and send you home. He gonna let you go home. As long as everything okay, we're gonna check on you. And so, because my husband always stay, he already packed the bag to stay. And so he sent me home. I'm finished with that. He sent me home, and what he done was, I noticed that he did things different. The 2 surgeries that he did on me, he always gave me a nerve block. He said because of the reason, he said ankle, when you do ankle surgery, it's real, I mean scream painfully. And he said painful. And he said that even with the medication, the narcotic, and all that, at that time I couldn't take nothing but Demerol, because I couldn't take Dilaudid, I couldn't take morphine or nothing, because I'm allergic to all that stuff, Percocet and all that stuff. So I had to take the old Percocet. I mean, what I just told you, I can't think of the name now, but anyway, we'll come back to it. But anyway, so then when I got home, the nerve block, the anesthesiologist had to come in first and give me the nerve block. Stick that needle in my ankle. You know how y'all know how to do the nerve block. And then they take me through surgery, and then I had a surgery and everything. So when I came home with the nerve block, I couldn't feel all the pain, but the nurse said that even if you can't feel all that pain, she said you have to take the medicine on around the clock like it's prescribed. And she said reason being is that when that nerve block wears off, you will experience the pain. She said it's harder to catch up with pain than to keep it under control. She said, so when you got in your system and you keep on taking it, when the nerve block wears off, then hopefully you'll be able to maintain with the medication. And so I did. I was able, he prescribed 2 every 4 to 6 hours. And my daughter was controlling all that because of narcotic. You know, I'm up there all sleepy and all that. You know, I don't know what's going on. I ain't trying to get an overdose. So my daughter controlled all the medicine. And so when I think I came home, Christmas was 2 days. I think I had surgery on the 23rd or 20. I think no, the 23rd or 24th. I think it was 24th. The one I think it was 23rd because I was supposed to stay in the hospital for a few days. And all I know, I wake up and sleep. My daughter went shopping with my husband. They said, we gotta leave you. But you know, my daughter, she real particular. She kept everything on the, she kept everything straight. So she made sure that everything was right in my hands, wipe, make sure I went to the bathroom, everything. Hopefully I don't have to go before they came back. But we got all the Christmas shopping done for food and everything. And my daughter did all the cooking for Christmas. And she said, Mama, she said, we're going to be on a schedule. She said, you got to rub our eating. All you got to tell me all the food we got. Just tell me what you want. I could eat a little bit and I could just sleep and eat, just sleep. And I mainly was sitting up in the bed with my ankle. I had to keep my ankle elevated the whole time. And then they had to change bandages. When I first had it, he put this soft thing on, but you can open it, and you had to change the bandage around it for drainage and stuff. Oh, it was just something. I don't even see how they took looking back at it now, my daughter's something else. My daughter changing them bandages. And my husband trying, but he couldn't do good. My son there, and they had to get it right because get them bandages back on because you couldn't get no infection, couldn't get no germs and nothing. Everything had to be gloved down. So I went through all of that. Found the Lord blessed me, and I got past all that. Took me a long time, and found out that the hardware, my body had started rejecting the hardware, and I started having problems with the hardware. So he said, I'm going to give you another x-ray, and I'm going to look at the bone real, real good to make sure that we can take the hardware out, and we won't have no problem when we take it out. So he looked at it, everything was fine. So he said, we're going to schedule for surgery, take all the hardware out. And at that time, I wouldn't even tell him, I didn't want him to know it. I said, Dr. Jones, I didn't tell the doctor till the morning of my surgery. I said, Dr. Jones, I said, I want you to look at something and feel something. He said, what's wrong? I said, I got a knot in the back of my ankle. So I had developed a knot that was in the back of my ankle. I didn't know whether it was the stress of everything I was going through, whatever it was. But every time I had surgery, they cut me in the same place all the way up. And you know what? I'm going to attach the pictures. If I got those pictures, do I have those pictures on this? I done changed so many SD cards. I don't know what half my pictures is, but if I can find them, I'll attach them. I don't attach them because I couldn't find them. But anyway, so he felt it. He said, Barbara, he said, that's a cyst. He said, when I already got you in there and already cutting you open, he said he's gonna make sure. So when he did it, he cut me open, he sent it away. He said, yeah, it was a cyst that developed. And so in the back of my ankle, he had to sew that up, take the cyst out, sew all that up. And he said, you having 2 surgeries in one. I said, oh my goodness. But the Lord is so good. And I got past all that. And it was just rough. And I actually, through having all of those surgeries, I actually gained 100 and I was 180. I actually was 170 or something. I started picking up some weight. I was 180 when I had my first surgery. And y'all know I told you how much I wore. So I ended up gaining 180, 280, 93. I gained 164 pounds through the years. I'm laying in the bed. Half the time when I was having surgery, couldn't even get up and do nothing for myself. Couldn't go in the kitchen, do nothing. And then when I was able to get up and do something, I always was limited. Always was limited. Couldn't go, I wasn't allowed to go to the Y, nothing like that, because I couldn't do nothing on the, like laying my foot. And I couldn't go in confined places. I couldn't go down hills. I couldn't go up hills. Everything had to be level as possible. I mean, the restrictions was terrible. And the only thing I could do was get in the water. And I got in the water some and did some things and everything. But I went through, I'm going to share this with y'all. My mom told me, she said, Barbara, I don't understand how people commit suicide and do things to others. She was telling me about this girl at that time that I think she was in New York, and she drove her car with all her kids in it over in the water, and all of them, only one survived with her son, and the rest of them, they died. And she said, I don't understand how people get to that point. What in the world was she thinking? I just don't understand. And I stopped and I thought about it, because I was going through my pain at the time. Remember, I'm on pain pills every day. Even after the surgery, I was still on pain pills until, you know, they'll take me off of them, and then they'll give me like Advil or something like that. But sometimes the pain was so rough, and I was slacking back. I won't take them much, and then they were like, you need to take your medicine. I'd slack it back, take much, try to do it, because I didn't want to get no addiction to medication. But I told her, I said, you know, you may not understand it. I said, but people go through stress, and some people, they just feel like they just let it all go. They just feel like life ain't worth living. I used to lay in the bed, and my husband had to go to work, my son had to go to work, and my daughter had to go to work. But the first thing my daughter done when she came home was, the first thing was come in that room and make sure and see what I needed before she did anything else. I used to stay in the bed, I used to cry, and I used to talk to the Lord, because where we're in, nobody else. And all day long, they'll put the bedside commode, and I won't even use it. I will get on those crutches and struggle to get to my bathroom, my bed, y'all know, master bedroom. I had to go a little distance to get to my, you know, just go around there and go in and go into the bathroom. But the risk of falling, what they was, I could say, you don't want her to fall. So anyway, I went through all of that. And I told her, I said, you know, you may not understand it, but sometimes things hit people in life, and it takes God. If they don't not have God in their life, if they really don't trust God and really let God take control, that's how they do things like that. Because I'm a living witness of all those years I went through all that pain. When I went through all I went through, I felt like I was forsaken. I felt like, why me? You know, I did for others, and where they at when I need help. But you know, through it all, I still trusted God. And I said, Lord, if you don't bring me through this, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, because it's going to have to take you to do this, Lord, because I know I can't heal nobody. I can't heal myself. God has to do it. God has to do it. If God don't do it, it won't. And I want to tell somebody today that no matter what you're going through, you got to trust God, because God is the only one that can bring us through whatever we face. Wherever we go through, God, if God don't bring us through, we won't come through it. Yes, God is real. He is really real. So today I want to tell the Lord, thank you, because I tell you, this is a testimony for me to share with others, that how God brought me through all of those surgeries. I mean, they cut me on the same ankle all the way up. And if I don't have the pictures, I'll take how my ankle look now, and I'll show you what the after effects is years later, or how I look. Yes, sometimes I still have pain. I suffered with it the other week, about 3 or 4 days. When it get cold, I have problems sometimes because the coldness and everything, but it's nothing like it was at first, because not only did he not plant my feet right, the nerve, the sore nerve got damaged. So that I had to go to a plastic surgeon at the same time almost to the other surgeon. And when my husband took me to that plastic surgeon, he was one of the best also. That my doctor didn't to know, but he felt the best doctor he could find for my situation. And when I went to the plastic surgeon, I never forget, he was a little foreigner. He said the only way that we can correct this, we would have to cut you from your hip all the way down to your ankle. Take the sore nerve out. And the damaged part, we would have to take a nerve from a cadaver, a dead body that they experiment on. We would have to take a nerve from a cadaver and transplant it in you. So we had to go through a transplant. Lord, when he said that, oh my God, I don't know if all I went through, I freaked out or felt. I said, no, I can't do it. And he said, that's the only way. He said, you'll always suffer nerve problem. But to God be the glory, because it's nowhere near what it was at first. And I want to tell the Lord, thank you. I want to tell the Lord, thank you, because it's nowhere near the pain what it was at first. I used to hurt from the top of on the side of my hips all the way down. Now I strictly hurt. And even if the certain nerve hurts sometimes, if that's what's going on, it's not as bad as it was at first. So anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. That's my story. That's my testimony. And that's my truth. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later.